challenges of climate finance, I would like to say a few words about the background of challenges, why these challenges are arising for climate finance. Is it audible?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah. Basically, there are three problems confronting this climate change or climate finance rather. We call it as triple environmental crisis. The triple environmental crisis has three aspects. One is climate change. Second one is biodiversity loss. Third one is pollution. So we know pretty well that how these three are impacting the environment and a cleaner environment and life of people in terms of resilient ecosystems and so on. So let me say a few words about what is this climate change and what is climate finance later on. As we all know that climate change refers to long-term impacts or long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, but since 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels, which produces heat-trapping gases. So having said what is climate change, which denotes shifts in temperatures and weather patterns, we need to talk about what is climate finance. Once we are clear about this, then we can go on to discuss about the challenges and remedial measures that need to be taken up. As per UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, climate finance means local, national, or transnational financing drawn from public, private, and alternative sources of financing that seeks to support mitigation and adaptation actions that will address climate change. There are three aspects involved in this while trying to define what is climate finance. And they may be local, national, or transnational, that is one. In fact, they are drawn from different sources of financing, public, private, and alternative sources of financing, wherein we talk about markets as a private source of financing, which is being used nowadays. And third one is mitigation and adaptation measures that will address the climate change. We call it as climate action. So having said what is climate change and climate finance, I will come to the crux of the matter. What are the challenges faced by climate finance or in mobilizing climate finance? As you are aware that we have been understanding, analyzing the COP26, how it went on, and we are also watching the way the COP27 is going on. When we look at this, most of the developed countries who are responsible for financing these climate action are reluctant. They are not really inclined to share their prosperity for the welfare of the developing nations. That's where we talk about sharing responsibility or shared prosperity among all. So in COP26, they have promised to mobilize $100 billion, but we have not been able to mobilize that. But now looking at COP27, there are three major challenges. There are three major challenges that we need to mention. One second. Yeah, there are three important aspects that we need to discuss in terms of challenges faced by climate finance. As such, one is the methodology, other one is the reporting, the third one is positive and affirmative commitments from the developed countries. If you look at the recent 27, one of the countries from Africa, that African nation, saying that we need to, the countries like China and India need to support, finance the climate action. But the pertinent question is that the developed nations who have been contributing to this climate change are not really coming forward to make commitments to this climate finance. So therefore, there are three major challenges. One is the methodology itself. When I say methodology of climate finance, aspects like is it grant or grant plus? And there is a general opinion that only grants are taken into consideration while we say that what is climate finance, non-grant support should not be considered under climate finance because it will become a loan. You know pretty well when it is a loan, interest will be added and its interest will development purpose. Second one is the reporting. The reporting from the OECD. Secondly, sometimes there are double counting. There is double counting and there are reporting the climate finance. And third is that there is nations who are really responsible for this climate change. There is a solid evidence showing that when pandemic occurred, countries like Europe and USA, Canada have been able to spend mop up resources running to the tune of trillions of dollars when it comes to climate finance. It is not even $100 billion. Therefore, there's a need to see that commitment from these countries. And this is the present juncture wherein Indian government need to pressurize the developed nations with its good offices. That one is to look at the estimation of loss and damages occurring in developing nations. Two, the culprits, the real contributors to this climate change need to come forward and accept their, mistake or whatever it is, they need to contribute towards this. Until and unless we need to make them make a positive commitment towards billions of dollars in the near future, we will not be able to not even control, but we will not be able to control the impact of climate change. Therefore, these are the three main challenges. And third one is commitments. There is discussion about commitments. The progress that is made towards making them commit towards climate finance is minimal. One or two countries made a reference to it, but nothing much has come out. So therefore, I strongly feel that these are the three broad areas that we need to look at when we talk about transformative imperative of climate finance. While on one hand, we are talking about $100 that is but now it is an experience even in neighboring like Pakistan, experienced the floods, severe floods last month before, which because of climate change. Country, Bangladesh, they are all under real vulnerable whenever there are untimely rain.
We can't hear you. I don't know if it's me, my problem or general. Prabhakar Reddy. Huh?
He got disconnected.
Okay.
Now his audio he needs to connect again. 1 second, I'm calling him. ప్రభాకర్ సార్ మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోరా?
Yeah, now it's unmuted. Yeah, it was a brief account of climate finance and challenges. And was it audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. The second half of it was a little disturbed.
Okay, okay. I'll just sum up in one sentence. While talking about climate finance, I was raising three broad areas which need research and action and advocacy level work. One is the methodological issue like definition of climate finance, what it is. Second one, positive and affirmative commitments by the developed nations. So these are the three areas wherein we need to put in action, do some research, come out with some broad consensus points which need to be put it across and pressurize the developed countries who are the responsible people for contributing towards climate action. Thank you.